What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, LESKUZZY, and that's Nick 215.
Yup, yup.
And welcome to Whenever You're Ahead. How you doing, my brother?
I'm vibing. Life is good. How you? My man
Uh,
got ice cream. Hold up.
hey, man. Man, life is great. Uh, bro, I go lie, the allergy has been kicking. Yesterday, my allergy was kicking crazy. I'm glad that we didn't do the podcast yesterday. My allergy was kicking crazy.
Oh
Uh,
shit.
man, there's a lot of things that happen, but
Uh oh.
there's a lot of things that happen. Shout out, hold on. Before we got better rap happening today. When y'all watching this, it's gonna be Friday. At 6 o'clock. Shout out to politics as usual. Bullpen. So if y'all want to be, I might stream it. I might not. Just check on caffeine if I'm streaming. Uh, Same as my name. LESKUZZY. Same thing right here. Uh, yeah. Y'all go check on caffeine TV if I'm streaming or not. Uh, but I'm thinking about starting streaming, man. I'm thinking about start streaming consistently on caffeine, probably.
Should stream on all them joints. It's a I think it's an app or a website you could use. You can stream on every website at the same time.
Should I do
You have
that?
a couple different chats open, everything.
I
It
might.
gets straight to the point, and then whoever gives you the most views is the one you could go with
All right.
for permanent streaming.
We'll talk about that later, man. But yeah, man. So where you want to start this? You want to start? You want to
Well,
start?
I want to start by saying we do like a small little pre-pod. Um, and I was like, ain't nothing happened but playoffs and rat beef. And Leslie was like, oh no, something happened. So what was that? What was
Oh,
that?
hold on. Oh, so you want to start with something happened?
I have no clue what you so hype about. I mean,
Uh,
other than rat beef, but I mean, rat beef been going on for a grip, so I ain't
all
gonna
right.
say.
So y'all remember last week? I think last week near the end of the pod, we talked about boxing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about
Oh, right. Never mind.
Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, and I said, I
The
think
upset of the century.
I said, well, technically, I came up here and I said, I think Devin Haney is gonna win. I said it's a big if, but I said I won't be surprised if Ryan Garcia wins because Ryan Garcia can punch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said because I see people are saying David Haney can knock out Ryan. I said I don't see that happening because David Haney doesn't have a punch and he doesn't have power. Uh, so we gotta come up here. So we gotta lead up. So number one, I watched everything that happened. I know VINIQUE didn't watch.
I
I
seen them
watched
highlights though.
I watched the lead up to the fight. I watched the press conference Thursday. Why is my camera off? God damn it.
Yeah, that joint froze.
All right. Uh, hold on. All right. So I watched. Sorry guys for technical difficulties. Uh,
You
but
still made that, bro?
so I started. So I watched the pre-fight. Like I was. Let me get back where I was. I watched the pre. The pre-fight. I watched. Uh, the weigh-in, and I watched the fights.
Mm-hmm.
So on the press conference, Devin Haney, number one. I think I came out and said I said I do like Devin Haney, but I don't like his dad. That's what I came up here and said, and I think I stood there. I still don't like his dad. At this time, I don't like his dad 20 times worse.
He gotta shut up. Now he gotta relax.
Bro, his dad came up there on the press conference and said, I'm sending, he's like, oh, this fight is, I don't want kids there. This is 18 and up. I'm sending my, what I'm sending my son to do is not, it shouldn't be allowed on television. And
Now,
number one, I said, okay, I understand you saying you have confidence in Devin Haney, but I said nobody in their great minds thought Devin Haney was gonna knock out Ryan. I'm like nobody in there. If you watch boxing, we all knew that Devin Haney does. We people who have watched Devin Haney a couple. I just recently started watching Devin Haney. I know for a fact Devin Haney doesn't have power. He can't punch a hole in the paper. Devin Haney's punch level is a zero when it comes to boxing. So I knew for a fact that was a lie, right? Then they started. The dad was doing too much. He talks too much. He's the Lavar Ball of boxing. He talks way too much, and he's writing checks that Devin Haney gotta cash in. Number one, that's number one, right? Then they did a bet with Ryan Garcia. Every so the bet at first was 500,000 if he misses the weight. If he comes in and doesn't reach make weight at 140, he has to pay 500,000. Bill Haney, that's David Haney's dad, said, "Nah, let's make it interesting. 500,000 every per pound. Every pound that he missed weight, he has to pay 500,000. Right?
hmm
Fair, Ryan Garcia said agreed on it, but Ryan Garcia's dad was saying don't take the trade. The bet. Ryan Garcia's dad was not for the bet, but Ryan said fuck it, let's do it. So he agreed to the bet, and it was so I don't know. I thought weigh-ins happen while we see them on TV, right? Like how they announce, when you see the UFC fighters come and they do the weigh-in and they show us their weigh. So I didn't know that they do the weigh-in set like private. Then they're gonna do on TV, like it. But they already have because it started like around 11 o'clock. Around 11 o'clock, Twitter went out because David Haynes said, "Oh, Ryan came in 3 pounds overweight."
mm,
So we're like, "Wait, I thought the weigh-in starts at 2." But then like, "Oh no, they do the weigh-ins. The ones that you see on TV, it's a ceremonial weigh-in, but they already took the weigh-in early in the morning, right?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." It's like what you see in the morning, they just do it, for ceremony. That's why you see some people be drinking Pedialyte to get back, fluids into their body to get back rehydration their body back, strength. I'm
mm,
like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that that's what they did. I didn't know that. So Ryan Garcia came. He was Devin Haney, number one, came in at 140. This fight was supposed to be for his title, but Ryan Garcia came at 143.2. So he was 3 pounds overweight. So that stripped away the title match, and
uh,
he paid David Haney 1.5 million, right, for coming overweight. And now David Haney, Bill Haney had an option to make Ryan cut weight, cut the 3 pounds off, run it out, and come under, at the limit, or let don't fight, or let the fight happen and just take the 1.5 million
mm,
that Ryan gave them. So they took the 1.5 million, you know, and they continue with the fight. So I'm like, okay, cool. So Ryan Garcia said, "Oh man, I'm about to destroy him." Ryan Garcia came out there on the ceremony looking like he's drinking beer. I don't believe that he was drinking beer, but he said he was drinking beer. He was. I'll take the man for his word, but I don't think. I think it was the whole antic thing that he was doing, acting crazy.
yeah, I think he posted about that. I don't think it was there either.
So night of the fight. So before we even get to the fight, there were some fights that happened. Uh, I want to say most of the fights that happened really were not interesting. There was not something I'm like, I can talk about. The undercut was okay, good enough. We all knew everybody was here for Ryan versus Devin Haney. Nobody really cared about the undercard,
Yeah, I
right?
wasn't worried about that.
Nobody cared about that. It's
Which
not like
Devin should give up his title. I don't care if he's 3 pounds over or not. Should get
so.
it up.
Technically
But
speaking, so this was supposed to happen. If Devin had lost, okay, Devin lost the battle, right? Lost the fight.
mhm,
That means he was supposed. So he was not fighting for. Ryan was not fighting for the title. But David was because if he won, would have kept the belt. If he had won, he'd have kept the belt. If he lost, he was supposed to lose the title.
mhm,
He was supposed by ruling. Since Ryan won, David Haney was gonna lose the title, and the title was gonna be vacant. That was the whole night. Everybody knew that if David lost, he was losing the title. So it was Tiger Ryan Garcia had nothing. Devin Haney had everything to lose, and Ryan Garcia had nothing to lose. He was just losing to Devin Haney. But Devin Haney had everything to lose, right? That's what was supposed. But his title that he had was the W. So this is what happens. Boxing has is different from UFC. UFC there's one title, one champion, one thing. In boxing, there is sanctioning bodies. That's why you see how when you see Floyd have that green belt that he used to wear, like the nice green belt that Floyd makes famous, the
mhm,
WBC.
mhm,
That's WBC. So that's the belt that Ryan had that he just won his previous. Not Ryan, Devin had that he won the previous fight. So the WBC's ruling is that he was supposed to lose, but the president or whoever went on Twitter said no, since he lost, we're gonna let him keep you know the belt. He's still the champion because Ryan came overweight. So he went back to his rules. He just he reneged
it's cool.
the
You still lost. You still lost. Got
to
cooked.
so you know then this is the crazy thing. Now let's talk about Devin Haney. No, before we even talk about it, let's talk about we know or we everybody saw what happened to Devin Haney. I'm gonna be respectfully, I wanna say respectfully and disrespectfully. I think you need to fire your dad. I understand your dad has been there since since you were young, took you to all the boxing, every way he got you where you are. But your dad doesn't know shit about boxing. I'll be honest, he doesn't know shit. Is you kind of see there's a difference between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, his dad is in his corner. His dad is part of the training, the coaching stuff. But
Mhm,
the dad is not the head trainer. The dad is part of people employed by Ryan Garcia to be on the corner, like as a coach, as a trainer. The dad is part of that team, but the dad is not the head trainer. That's Derek James. David Haney's head trainer is his dad. That's the problem. Now, I understand people are gonna say, "Oh, there are people who have been coached by Dave. Floyd has been coached by his dad." They're gonna say Boots is coached by his dad, but you're forgetting Billy Haney doesn't have any fighter under him. Billy Haney only coaches one person, and that's Devin Haney. He doesn't have any other fighter that he coaches or trains. He doesn't train nobody else. He doesn't train nobody. He has never trained nobody else except for Devin Haney. When you go to Floyd's dad, Floyd has trained somebody.
mhm.
Floyd's dad trained a lot of boxers.
And
Oscar De La,
Floyd's dad was an actual fighter. So I mean,
and he was an actual fighter, but also he was the first when Oscar De La Hoya was first into boxing. Who was the person who was training him was Floyd's dad, right? That's valid. He already has his straps of like as a good trainer. When you go to Boots' dad has he coaches other people. Shakur Stevenson, when he needs some extra coaching, he goes to Boots' dad. because him and Boots, Shakur and Boots are they came out in the amateurs together, so they know each other, and there's a video literally going, Shakur getting told, technically speaking, I feel like Shakur should have kind of went to Bozy for knockouts. I don't know who is he's here training right now, but I feel like he should have stayed with Bozy Ennis. Oh, he should have chose Bozy as his trainer. That's a different day. Then right now, he has Andy Cruz. And I'm well, he was a gold Olympic, gold medals in the Olympics. He's 3-0 in the professional right now. He's gonna be fighting on August 3rd under the Crawford, the biggest fight in US, the biggest boxing card in US history so far. The Saudi Arabians are coming to the United States for the first time,
Mm.
and they're throwing the biggest card. Crawford is fighting for the super welterweight title on August 3rd. Andy Cruz is on that undercard. Who's Andy Cruz trainer? That's Boots Ennis' dad, who's training Andy Cruz. So he has fighters who he trains. He doesn't only train Boots, he trains other fighters. He has other fighters that he has to fall, in his camp. Bill Haney doesn't not have nobody. So Bill Haney, to me, when I watch that fight, he doesn't know shit about boxing. Well, he does. He knows a lot about boxing, but he doesn't know what he need, the adjustments in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
When his son is losing, he didn't know what to the adjustments. You know, if like when I was watching, I'm like, bro, why you not telling your sons to stop ducking? Put his chin down, put their hand down, like so that he protects the chin. Why not saying that? You telling him keep jabbing. We know he can jab. You gotta say keep jabbing, throw the 1-2. That's not working. That was what you were saying the whole goddamn fight. That was not working. So now let's talk about the fight. Number one, the fight started. First punch. I think I went on Instagram and people thought I meant I had Devin Haney by winning. No, I didn't have Devin Haney winning. I put a bet just throwing out there. I said David Haney is not getting knocked out. That was my bet. That I had Ryan. I chose Ryan Garcia by points because it made me the most money. I didn't believe that he was gonna win, but when I did a bet, I wanted the most money. Like everybody can. When you bet, you want what? The most money.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose Ryan Garcia by points. But I got scared that I was not gonna win the bet because Emil, when that left hook connected the first round, Devin Haney had wobble legs. He was wobbling. I was like, God damn, Devin, I got money for you not to get knocked out. Right? That's what I said. Now, when it came to the fight, people say, oh, Devin Haney won most of the rounds. No, Devin Haney didn't win most of the rounds. Devin Haney won the rounds when Ryan Garcia was not throwing punches. If y'all want to know the breakdown of how many rounds Devin Haney won, I advise you to go to Showbiz the Adult on YouTube. He has a video where he talks about the copy box. That's how boxing keeps track of the punches thrown, punches landed, everything, involving boxing. It's called copy box. Uh and
Oh my god.
he also it tells you which who won the round by how by telling you which who landed which punch and what punch was landed. Devin Haney won. I'll be honest. If you watch the highlights, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you take away from the highlights?
Devin Haney was not landing much. He wasn't landing much. You mean my man was still standing there looking pretty. Uh, Haney took a beating.
Hmm.
That was my other thought. But most of it, I mean, he was just getting beat. Like from him slipping your punches and then hitting you with hooks, or whatever you hit him with wasn't crazy, and he hit you with a hook, and his hook put you down. Like we not like I don't think he. I mean, I didn't watch it obviously, but it don't look like he won not one round. It's gonna be hard to say he won a round. He was getting beat on in there. He fought though. He fought.
All right. Um.
Almost looked like he ain't fight back.
So
His
Devin
lip
Haney.
fucked up.
So now this is what the people who saw from like how you guys. I wanted him to say what he saw because he watched the highlights.
If the casual fan can look at you and say, "No, ain't no way he won," come on, come on. Like we're not even getting into biases because I don't even like neither one of them. Or I don't care for none of them.
Okay.
I do have a respect for Ryan Garcia though. Y'all got to stop calling him a YouTuber. Y'all
Yeah.
have to
So
stop calling him a YouTuber. Y'all got to
yeah.
respect him.
So now you see, that's what I wanted to ask him first because he believes that he didn't win one round. Now, from what for me, because I watched the entire fight, right? Ryan Garcia. Now, the rounds that Devin Haney won, that was the rounds that Ryan Garcia didn't throw number. At least he didn't throw as many punches as that than Devin Haney. He probably threw like two punches, landed two punches. Probably threw like six punches, landed like three. That's the runs that Devin Haney won. That was when the Ryan Garcia was running around just to catch his energy because I believe him that he went out most of the nights before this fight because he was out of shape. We was not out of shape, but he was his endurance in boxing was not as way he used to be. Where you when you like when you watch when you kind of watch Ryan Garcia some fights, he can last a long time. But in this fight, you gotta saw that he was really gassing himself out. Then like the next few rounds, he's just chilling, running around, letting Devin hunt him, let Devin like kind of, hunt him. Now, the problem with that, Devin Haney, this is where I'm saying that Devin Haney kind of is the fault is that his dad empowered himself. Why are you hunting Ryan Garcia? That's my question. Number one, you don't have a punch. I'm not when people say why you say he doesn't have a punch. When I mean he doesn't have a punch, he doesn't have power. His punching power is not there. He has no power. He doesn't knock out nobody. Like yeah, no, yes, on his record there is knockouts like 15 knockouts. Those 15 knockouts, nobody knows who these people are. But when he fights people with a name, people who have been champions before, or people who are champions, he doesn't have knockout power.
Like Tank took Ryan punches. It was cool. It
Yes,
was cool. But those
but
Ryan
also,
punches,
but not understand when this way I'm gonna come with the Tank fight. Tank took Ryan punches, but Tank kind of made Ryan come down to 135, 137, and made him kept up at 140, 140. Ryan Garcia can make. He's supposed to be fighting at 140, but Ryan Garcia, since he had moved up in weight, can make 140. The weight limit 140. He has never made 140 ever. That's why he said he's moving up to Boots' division because he can make 140. His body doesn't allow him to make 140 unless he does some. He drains himself to a point where it's unhealthy. But healthy wise, he can make 140. Health like drain, cutting weight, health in a healthy, in a healthy way, he can make 140. So when you saw him against Tank, Ryan was weak. Ryan didn't have power. Even though we know that he had a little bit power because we know we can see the power. But a lot of people who are in boxing kind of knew Ryan didn't was weak because you saw by his body how his body looked against the Ryan fight against Garcia, against Tank, and the how he looked against Haney. You kind of saw okay, I see why Devin, why he looked that way because he had a rehydration close. That means he could not go above 140. Only can gain like 10 pounds. When most people in boxing they get 10, they get 20 pounds overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So like or 25 overnight. Like that's what Devin Haney normally does. He comes in at he wins in at 140, then the next day he's at 160. Comes into the fight at 160. That I don't know how he does it, but that's what people have said. Devin Haney normally when he gets into the ring, he gets in around 160. Ryan Garcia, when you saw him on that fight, he looked a bigger man. He was hydrated. He looked healthy. And so now when the fight happened, Devin Haney, this is why I say Devin Haney has an issue. He was hunting Ryan. And I believe it was because what Bill Haney was saying that we're gonna knock out Ryan. Problem is, Devin Haney is not known for power. Nobody knows Devin Haney for power. It's different when it's if it was Tank, we understand. Like, okay, Tank wants to knock out Ryan. Tank has power, but you compare you and Ryan. We believed Ryan can win by a knockout, unlike we believe Devin Haney gonna win by knockout.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing. Now, number one, so when I mentioned that the first round, Leo, the first punch that Ryan threw was a hook, a left hook. That's what. Listen, the first punch that Ryan threw was a left hook. It landed. It made literally David Haney wobble legs. Round two, the whole leading up to the fight, all David Haney said was Ryan only has a left hook, and Ryan said, "Wouldn't be funny if I dropped you with my right hand." Because I have a right hand too, right? You forget I have a right hand that have knocked out people too. I understand I've knocked out a lot of people with the right with the hook, like leave a hook to the body, hook to the head. That's most of my knockouts, my left hook. But I do have a right hand. I think that also played into Devin Haney's mind because every time now, Devin Haney, when he throws a punch, he ducks to the left. When
Mm-hmm.
you duck to the left, when you throw a jab, when you're ducking, you're leaving yourself open. So what Ryan did, every time you duck, he threw the right hand. So he was landing the right while you throw a jab because you're ducking to the fucking left the whole fight. So now when he threw the hook the first round, he landed and he gave you wobble legs because he was wobbling for a good minute. Started hugging Devin Haney. That's another thing. The ref, I understand maybe because you thought it was because of the animosity that they had against each other, but you let Devin Haney hug freaking Ryan for too long because he had 3 knockdowns. Technically, he is supposed to have 6 to 7 knockdowns because the first knockdown there was 3 more knockdowns that happened that you caused slips when we all knew that was a Devin Haney didn't have his leg. He actually got knocked out. That was supposed to happen, but you called them slips. Devin Haney was clinching too long. That was you were supposed to warn Devin Haney for that because he was every time he got hit and he had wobble legs, he started clinching and not letting go. That's pissed off Ryan. That's why Ryan hit him one time after the ref said break when the break was breaking the mat and hit him because Devin Haney was not letting go. And he took away a point from Ryan after the first knockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Uh but now let's get into the other rounds. So round two, Devin Haney started coming back. Crazy. The funny part is Ryan Garcia was not throwing punches. He was just running like lateral movement. But if you watch the fight, you'll be like, "Oh, Ryan is setting a trap." Because everybody who has watched boxing now long enough, I've watched boxing for I want to say 2 years. I now know what boxers normally do because I kind of tell myself, okay, why are they moving this way? Why did they move that way? Somebody told me sometimes they're setting traps for later. Devin Haney started pressing Ryan. Ryan was moving side to side around the ring. Like he was moving, if he goes to the left, he moves to the right, but he's second in the ring, just moving back and forth side to side. Then I don't why is he not moving though? I don't
Who
know.
me?
No, the timer. I don't know. We will see later.
The timer moving for me.
Oh, it's moving. Mine is frozen.
Oh shit.
So,
Oh shit now.
uh,
Technical
so,
difficulties.
so he's like, moving side to side. Then when Haney, then that's when round seven. That's where all hell break loose. Because Henny, that's when Ryan started was like, okay, nigga, I let you have the last two, like 3 rounds. I let you, some round. I gave you 1 round. I take 1 round.
That's cute.
I take another round. You take another round. It was interchangeable because before round. Now I can tell you what I had it when before round seven. I had it a tie. I had 3 rounds to Henny, 3 rounds to Garcia. That's what I had it going into round seven.
So was he looking the way he was looking when during the meme?
No, that was before the knockdowns. That was before the
That
knockdown.
was before the knockdowns.
Yes.
The
So
on
he
the
was
floor, blood
before
on the face.
before that was that's after round
Oh,
six.
so the
All the
knockdowns
knock
is after round 7.
yeah, literally from round seven to upwards, Ryan Garcia was whooping his ass.
Oh, all right. Oh, all right.
He
Well, at
started
least he
whoop
fought. At least he fought up to 7.
so
That's
rounds
respectable.
So in round six, it was 3-3. Reason why he had 3 rounds won is the 3 rounds that he won in rounds in before that. Ryan Garcia was not throwing punches; he was just playing defense. That's why he won those rounds. Round seven, that's when the first knockdown happened, and I think that's the one that you see him on the floor on his stomach, and it looked like he's like lost.
Yes,
That's
on
that
his ass.
on his head. That was round seven. Then he got hit again. So he got up, right? He beat the count, got up, got hit again with the hook, and he was gone. Then he hugged Ryan. He grabbed Ryan and fell on Ryan. So Ryan is trying to punch him, but you can't punch somebody who's putting their body on you. So you like, that's you hit him back. You're not allowed to hit back of their head in boxing. So he's trying to punch, but he's hugging him. So then he fell down, right? He fell down. Then he hit him again. Fell on Ryan. Ryan's trying to run out, like pull away, so that the ref can see that this man is really knocked down. But Henry is literally grabbing him and following him. So Ryan starts punching, right? When he's punching him, that's when the ref is like, ew, break up, break. And the ref is trying to break them up. What happens? Haney is still holding Ryan. So Ryan gets frustrated and throws a punch.
Hmm.
The ref was like, nah, timeout, timeout. 1 point deduction from Ryan. He takes a point away from Ryan for punching during the break when the ref is breaking them up, right? So he takes away a point from Ryan. So he gives Haney some time to recover because of the punch. So Haney comes back and he does, he's whatever he does, then that's happened. Okay, cool. I'm like, okay, Haney, that's good. Round 8, he lost again. So now it's the rounds is 5-4, 5-3 to Ryan Garcia.
Hmm.
Round 9, Garcia doesn't throw a punch. I think he threw like 3 punches and landed 2 or 3. And Haney threw more punches and landed more punches. So he won that because he landed more punches. Right? Round 10, another knockdown, another hook. That's when he hooked him, almost fell out the ring. He got up.
Put on
Then
them back pockets, baby.
then he got up. He got up. I'm like, okay, Haney looks. I'm like, Haney, don't get knocked. That's now what two knockdowns. That's a 10, 2 10-8s. One, okay, it's supposed to be 10-8, but it's a 9-8 round now because of the point taken away from Ryan. So 2 knockdowns, you might be losing this. You need to win by points. You might need to knock Ryan down so that you can, get a point. Like, get even with Ryan. I'm like, okay, cool. Then round 11. That's the meme when he got knocked down and he was looking at Ryan like he's lost.
Like he
Yeah,
was
so
looking at his dad. Oh,
yeah,
my
yeah.
bad.
When he was looking at his dad, that's in round 11, and people were saying that Bill Haney, because that whole the rest of the 10 round he was getting whooped so bad, it was to the point I'm like, Bill, throw the white towel, because literally you hear Ryan telling David inside, throw the towel because your son is not gonna give up. He has his heart. He's not gonna give up, and he's whooping him to the point like I'm like, bro, this is bad. Round 11, you hear Bill saying, Bill's like, yo, I need you to throw the. I'm like, why are you telling this man to throw a punch when this hook is still coming? You telling him throw the 1-2. It's not working. He's not in. He is not in there. Then he got hit again, right out on the corner where his dad is. He looks at his dad and the camera. And I think he's trying to say, Dad, you gotta throw something. I'm not gonna give up, but you supposed to be my lifeline. When you see I'm not able to do, you supposed to be the one to be, you know
Yeah,
how
take
when
the
you,
blame.
yeah, take the blame. Like you know how have you ever you watched which fight was it? I want to say it was. Have you watched Rocky when uh Creed was fighting Drago, and you see Rocky comes with the white towel and throws it in?
Mm.
Oh no, when you say I wish I threw the white towel, but when you watch Creed 2, when Michael B. Jordan's fighting Drago's son and he's whooping his ass, and you see Drago, the original Drago, walk up the steps on the ring and throws the white towel. That's what that's what people wanted Haney to do, because Bill Haney to do, because he was David Haney was getting his ass whooped. It was to the point I'm like, this is not ref. I'm like, one of the two gotta stop this fight, because this is not y'all gonna let this man is gonna have brain damage, because Ryan was not letting loose. Ryan was not letting him off the hook, because he knocked him down. Then he went to his corner for 12, and you hear, listen to Derrick James. Derrick James like, don't let him off the hook. He's like, don't. He's like, I understand we won this fight, but don't let him off the hook. And I feel like Ryan Garcia kind of knew he won the fight, so he started playing with Devin Haney. And you see, Devin Haney is trying his hardest, and Ryan Garcia is out here dancing like Mandarina, like, yeah, boy, I'm out here like, ping, hitting like he's just playing. And I think I said I don't want here not so. Then some judge say it was a tie. I'm like, okay, you judge, you crazy.
Where do you see the way he
I'm like,
looked?
I'm
Ty,
like, I'm
where?
like, I understand what the hell. I don't know what y'all saying when you see a
I think that's politics, bro.
yeah, because let's be honest,
They didn't want him to
David,
fight.
that was supposed to be a knockout, because technically the ref kind of saved Devin Haney. If it was any other ref or any other fight, we would have called this a knockout. But it's Devin Haney, who kind of looked like professional. He
Who's
did every.
Mr. Undefeated right now?
He was
Like other than
undefeated.
Tank and Bud, I think he's the only one that's undefeated.
No, there's a lot of fighters who are undefeated.
I
Boots
mean,
is
like, but of
yeah,
status.
yeah, yeah. So he was undefeated. He was a champion. He's doing everything by the book. Ryan Garcia is doing crazy shit, like ah, shock. He's doing crazy shit. So technically speaking, you gotta, there's this guy who looks like he's losing his mind. He's crazy, and this guy who looks like his tunnel vision. So you're gonna go with the guy with tunnel vision, right, for your image. I understand, but let's be honest. When you watch that fight, that shit was an ass whooping. Number one, that was an ass whooping to the
They
maximum.
didn't want the YouTuber to win. It's kind of like
Yeah, then
DDG,
yeah,
because every time DDG gets mentioned, somebody got something hateful to say, and I feel like it's weird because like he did a lot of successful things, but Ryan is doing the same exact thing. He just beat the undefeated dude, and they said is him. It's only like it's like a top four. It's him, Bud, Tank.
All right,
So it's like he
so
beat that guy, and that's what it
so
is.
so now he beat the top one of the top pound to pound kings. That's Devin Haney because he was undisputed at 135. He was a champion at 140. Uh, Now when I say I think I came out here and I said I think Devin Haney didn't beat Loma, but the judges gave it to Devin Haney, and people said I was crazy. No, I wasn't because what I saw, the same thing I saw from Devin Haney against Loma, that's what happened against Ryan. But the difference is Loma didn't knock him down. It was an ass whooping. He was just whooping his ass while Devin Haney was standing. Ryan said, "Nah, I need you to see this. I'm whooping his ass so bad that he's gonna be touching the ground." And crazy enough, Ryan is the first person to make David Haney touch the ground. Haney has been close to touch the ground in like four fights, right?
Hmm.
Lomachenko made him wobble. Another fighter made him wobble, and another fighter made him wobble. Like wobble to a point like he didn't recover after 2 rounds. Like he was still wobbling in the one round fully, another one fully. And we kind of said, I think people who watch boxing kind of said, if Ryan catches him with one punch, if he gives him wobble legs, it's gonna be bad because Ryan can finish.
Hmm.
And you kind of saw Ryan wanted to finish it, but he didn't get the knockout because the ref didn't want him to get a knockout. We're gonna talk that to another day. Now, then
Yeah,
we
they didn't
go.
want him to go down, bro. They didn't want him to go down.
Then I hear, okay, now I hear we want a rematch. Bill Haney, Devin Haney, y'all don't need a rematch. That's an ass whooping. The rematch, you know how when we saw Spence versus Crawford versus L Spence, and we said that was an ass whooping.
Yeah.
This is the equal to you versus this is Spence versus Crawford. And that was an ass whooping. He whooped your ass so bad that other boxers kind of look like, God damn, we didn't think Ryan was gonna do this. Yeah, that was an ass whooping. To the point that I'm like, God damn, Ryan is whooping his ass. And I'm hearing four kings. Now, when y'all hear you know how when people say, oh, four kings, when they say four kings, they're not saying that the kings of boxing. These people kind of grew up at the
You going to
same.
work? Yeah. All right, see you.
So when they say four kings, they're not saying, when they say Tank, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Shakur, they're not saying they are the four faces of boxing. The four kings, that means these people grew up in the same era and they grew up together. They know each other outside of, boxing, right? Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia came up together in the amateurs. So before this, they had 6 fights. Before this fight that we saw on TV, there's 6 fight in the amateurs, and it was tied 3-3, right? Then Devin Haney sparred Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney sparred. Uh, Devin Haney also sparred. Who else did he spar? He sparred Tank. Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia sparred Tank before. You know, they kind of grew up to around each other outside of boxing. So when this fight came about, people kind of said, okay, when you hear like, oh, Ryan Garcia say we didn't worry about Devin. Now this kind of people saying, nah, people are now saying, oh, I see why, because they've been whooping Devin's ass since they were kids. And people came out who watched the fight, in Vegas. I think their last fight was in Vegas in the amateurs, and they said what they saw on Saturday was the same thing that happened in the amateurs. He's like, literally, it was an ass whooping. Like Ryan whooped his ass. I'm like, so what made y'all think it was gonna be different? If the last fight that they fought before they became pros was an ass whooping, and Ryan was whooping his ass to the point that I say it literally the fight on Saturday was like literally the replica to the last fight. What y'all made was different. I understand Devin Haney got better. He was way skill wise, he was way better than Ryan because that's what David Haney was saying. He's like, I believe that when we go to the pro, I surpassed Ryan because I got way better and he stayed the same. I understand that. I believe that at the same time that you skill wise, David Haney is way better boxing wise, but fighting wise, he's not because he doesn't have power. In boxing, I think David Haney's best approach to beat his best approach when he in that fight was supposed to box right. That means use your jab, stay away from Ryan, and don't approach Ryan in the pocket so that he learns that hook because his speed was way faster than yours and he is more powerful. But you didn't do that. You literally approached Ryan and you got knocked out. Technically, it was a knockout, but you got knocked down 3 times. Officially 3 times, in technically 7 times in people's eyes. Now I heard Devin Haney wants a rematch. I don't want to see a rematch. That's an ass whooping. The rematch is going to be worse. Now Ryan Garcia said after the fight that he wants a rematch with Tank, but he said now since I did Tank's terms and taking it at 136 or 37, right, or 136, whatever, with the clause, the rehydration clause. Now let's do it on my terms at 145. There's no rehydration clause. We fight at 145, and that's it. Now I want to say this. I want to see that rematch, Tank versus Ryan again at 145. Why? That means I wanted Ryan on his full strength, and I think Tank has fought before at 140. But I'm
You
still
think
gonna
you think Ryan will do better?
he can do better, but I don't think he's gonna win.
You don't think? Okay.
He's gonna
He might
do
close him out. He might
he
close him
might
out this time.
no he's gonna do way better of way how can I say he's not gonna be like when remember how he got knocked how he lost he took a knee after he get hit in the ribs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's not gonna let that happen. He's because I believe the rehydration clause was the effect to that. He didn't have any protection that he normally has with the mask because he was literally skinny. Like he had nothing to protect him. Like he didn't have that, the extra layer of, skin to protect him that he normally has because he fights at 130, at 140, right? And Tank fights at 135. He didn't have that extra layer to protect him on that catch weight. And the clothes kind of made it worse. But
Mm-hmm.
I believe now if they do it at the catch weight with no clause, without rehydration clause, it helps Ryan. And but it helps Ryan with his performance, but it doesn't help him if he loses. It really is not gonna do anything, right? It's just gonna make the fight way better because Ryan is at his full strength. You know, Tank might be way extra strength because he's moving up in weight, so that means his power is gonna move up with him, and then we're gonna have a great fight, and we see what happens after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so I that's one fight that Ryan said, but also Ryan said he's moving up at 147. Now, so 147 right now it only has one king. It doesn't have any other person, but it's except for one because Bart already officially Terence Crawford is no longer at 147. Terence Crawford has moved up to 154. So the only person who's now left ruling 147, I want to let you know, Boots is now the king at 147. He's the only champion at 147. So he's the king at 147. So that's what I'm saying to the people, right? He's now the king at 147. Uh what I'm saying now, Ryan said he's moving 147. He said he wants to fight Fandora. I don't think that I don't he said he has spot people at 154. And I would like to see the fight. Technically, yes. At the same time, no. Really don't care about Fandora versus Ryan. Because Fandora is like what, 6'10", and really doesn't fight like a 6'10" type of guy. He fights way short, like he's a shorter person, and he likes to thug it out. I'll probably think Ryan wins the fight because I've seen Fandora get knocked down before. I've seen it. Ryan, I believe Ryan's hook can catch him. Then Ryan says some dumb shit. This is where I say Ryan sometimes his brain says random stuff and he is dumb because he said, let's run it with boots. Ryan, I understand. This is I would like to fight with you and Boots. I would like it. But I don't think you can survive having two losses on your name. I do. I don't. I'd rather you have that one loss that you already have and fight everybody else. Then you can fight Boots. If you have a title, that's a difference now. I think you need to fight for a title 147. Then you fight Boots. Then that's gonna be much. Now that's gonna be a much great conversation because if you fight Boots just to fight Boots, technically speaking, it's a lose lose for you. Well, technically, it's a lose win for you. If you beat Boots, you get his title. If you lose, you just lost to Boots, and people expected you to lose to Boots. And Boots just gets more money. Gets the biggest money you can get. That's cool. What does Boots gain from that? Nothing, because he beat Ryan Garcia, who was a way below his lower class, a smaller guy to him.
Yeah, but
Really,
his name would be up there though,
yeah, yeah. That's all.
because his
Yeah.
name ain't up there with everybody else.
Well, now it is. Did you hear what
Nah, it
people?
was only up there once. Once Ryan says something, it's up there, and then once
But
Gillian Wallow says something. But other than that,
yeah, but I
his
think
name ain't up
he's
there.
so. But Boots. Okay, now I understand
Talent wise, he's up there.
you're telling what is up there, and also now people are talking about him because he signed with a big promoter. Because Boots
Hmm.
before this he didn't have a big promoter. He signed with Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn is doing more of selling boots to people, right? Number one, and two, Eddie Hearn has connections with the Saudis because that's how Terence Crawford signed with the Saudi promoter, Turkish or whatever his name, Turkey, who's making all these big fights happen, right? The Saudi man is really not a promoter. He's just a richest person in boxing right now who's making everybody work together. Like he's taking the PBC Matchroom, De La Hoya's stable. He's taking everybody who's under everyone and making them come to work together to make this y- dream matches for what people have wanted. So Emil, when Boots signed with you know, with Eddie Hearn, and Boots said his next fight is in Philly, is a mandatory, and he met with the Turkish guy. Well, not the Saudi guy. His name is Tech or whatever his name is. I forgot his name. It says Turkey or something. Turkey something. He met with Turkey the guy Turkey, and Turkey was like after Crawford fights his next fight, he wants to make Crawford versus Boots in December. That's his main priority for
Yeah, I
December.
want that one to happen. I want Boots to really to get a great upset, and then Philly is on the map, and we got our Bernard Hopkins back.
Yeah,
We here.
but
We here.
so he Boots already has a
But
backing from Eddie Hearn. He's also gonna have the money behind him because the reason why Boots and Crawford didn't fight earlier this year when Boots got his Boots got Crawford's belt IBF was Crawford said Boots doesn't the money. Well, technically, he said the money is not make didn't make sense. What is Boots bringing to the table, and let except for the title, the money is not gonna make that much. Now the money is gonna make sense because you getting money from the Saudis, and the boxing people in boxing general wants to see you guys fight because now for people I understand. I like Boots. I know Boots personally. He's one is in my church. I've until recently, me and him now have a great conversation relationship, right? Because we are kind of in the same life group type of thing in a church. So we are kind of talk to him on a regular basis, on not every Sunday, whenever he comes, we kind of talk
Mm.
about, right? But when it comes to him versus Terrence Crawford, I'm gonna be rooting for Boots. But at the same time, I know Terrence Crawford. Literally Terrence Crawford versus Terrence Crawford is older than Boots. So if people will say it's gonna be like Terrence Crawford fighting Terrence Crawford, right? Because Terrence Crawford does what Boots does: switch hits, can fight orthodox southpaw, power in both hands. Technically, Terrence Crawford doesn't have power in both hands. He has power in his left hand, but that's why normally when he fights, when he switches stance, he will start with the right-handed stance, then switch to the left hand, and that's how he knocks you down out. Boots can do that shit with each hand. It's difficult. If you watch Boots fight, you have seen Boots knock out people with each fucking hand. And I hear people, oh, what did Boots fight? His last opponent was Villa. Oh, I think that's how you pronounce. I'd say Villa, but it says Villa. Roman Villa, right?
Mm.
Villa beat an undefeated fighter before Boots, and it was literally the same night Boots went 12 rounds. For the first time, Villa was it was the Tank and Tech and Garcia undercut, the other Garcia, not Ryan Garcia. It was the fight before Ryan Tank's fight before Ryan Garcia in January in Maryland, in Washington D.C. When he fought Hector Garcia. It was Boots. It was Tank at the main card, and Boots was the co-main. He was the co-main event on the pay-per-view for the IBF interim title. That's how he got the interim title. And Villa was the undercut under that. And technically speaking, Villa felt disrespected because Boots and Villa's opponent Ellis were talking back and forth. Like they were the one fighting. And technically Boots didn't start this. His opponent El Rashid Els started this, and Boots kind of entertained it. So they started going back and forth like they were the one fighting, but they were not the ones fighting. Boots was like, after this fight, then we can fight. You know, that's what they was talking. They were already making a fight for the next, and then the next time, right? They're like, oh, after this fight, we'll fight. After this, after our fights, we'll fight. That's how they're saying. Ellis will say, I'm gonna win this fight. Boots will say, when after I win this fight, you win your after you win your fight, we fight. Right? That's what was the plan. Unfortunately, that didn't go as planned because Rashid Ellis got beat by Villa because Villa knocked him down twice or three times and twice in one round. So he won the fight. Then after he won the fight, he told his promoter, "I want Boots. I don't want anybody else but Boots. If you don't get me Boots, I'm retiring from boxing." People said the promoter said, "I'm gonna talk and let's see it happen." Boots was like, "Okay, you want me? Let's do it." You know. Then Showtime did. They're like, "Okay, we'll do it. We are not gonna do it in Philly. We're gonna do it near Philly." They went to Atlantic City. Boots came out. Boots will say, "This is Boots." Kind of took that as disrespectful because he's like, bro, you don't have that cloud to be calling me out and say I'm scared of you. So Boots came out and literally pronounced this is going to be a funeral against Villa.
Mm.
Came out with the Undertaker theme song, and King Von whooped his ass. Because I was at the fight. I one time I thought Villa's nose got broken and left his body. I think I came out and said that on the podcast. I thought his nose was no longer attached to his body. One piece of his nose, I thought it was no longer on his body. But that's what happened. Now Boots announced his next fight is gonna be in Philly. I'm going to the fight. I don't know if Vinny wants to take along to come. It's gonna be on a Saturday. I want to say July, but I'm going to the fight. You want to take along?
Yeah, we can see what's up.
All right.
Early July, first second week.
No, I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask him if he comes to church this week. I might ask him for inside scoop, but I don't think it's early July. I want to say mid July, probably late
Mid.
July.
Oh, all right. We'll see what's
But
up.
yeah. So his next fight is against Cody Crowley, and hold on, I'm coming back. But that's what happened. Boxing is looking like is coming back again. Shout out to the Saudis. Now let's talk about the beefs, man. You know the beefs happened this weekend, man.
Nothing but beef. Beef is
All
all over the
right,
place.
all right, man. Uh,
Which one
how
you want to
who,
start with?
which one do you want to start with?
I think we can get the Drake one out the way, and it's
All right.
chronological, so we can start with the Drake one.
All right. So yeah. All right. So yeah, I know Drake officially now officially released 50. Push-ups. Uh, drop give me 50. So officially you can go and stream it on every streaming platform. So he
Mm-hmm.
released it. I think Friday, right? Friday
Yep.
after that he released push-ups. Then
And then at the exact same
midnight
time,
and midnight. I want to say midnight. I don't because that's where I saw the post. It was
it
around
was
midnight.
midnight. It was
It was
midnight.
like midnight, so it was Saturday 420. He released a freestyle on Instagram. And on the freestyle, he wasn't playing fair. Drake was not playing fair. He he released with AI Tupac and AI Snoop. A response I don't it's a response to a response. It's a response it's literally a district on top of another response. So he responded to Kendrick and everybody and put out another response video to Kendrick telling him to drop. But technically he said we gotta wait another week because Taylor dropped at two albums in
Mm-hmm.
one night, one day.
He said Taylor Swift is the new top.
Yeah, Tyler Swift is the new top dog. He's your top dog now. He's your new top.
Taylor Swift is
Because
top dog.
Taylor
That's crazy.
and to be honest, she made and he said Taylor Swift is the real gangster in the music industry. And to be honest, he's right because Taylor Swift released two albums in one day.
Yep.
S- So she's the real gangster in the rap game or in the music industry. Uh, then I had Kanye. So now we getting rid of we moving like right. So Kanye did like that. I
Oh my
think
God, Kanye.
Kanye has entered the chat, guys. Kanye has entered the chat. I think was it the like that disc or he was on a remix. I don't know.
He was on the remix of Like That, and I honestly think he pushed his way on.
So
Like I think he
be,
was invited, but he like pushed it. Like
yeah, because he said no, now Kanye. Kanye, I know that your brain works. Your brain is special. You think everybody's against you. And that's the why I'm saying everything. Your brain is special. I didn't say you're special. You're special. You are special. But since whatever happened to you, you're no longer special. Your brain is special. You just think everything against you because you said Kai's a industry plan because he didn't like your pants. Nigga, your pants didn't fit him. What? I'm confused. If the pants can't fit me and you can see from the video itself that your pants can't fit, what am I supposed to do? Like the pants because they can't fit me? Okay, Kanye. I don't want you to come for me, so I'm gonna be quiet. But you did he said, "Oh, I got invited by Pluto, by Future. That's Pluto, and you were in the like that, and everybody was rejuvenated because y'all trying to take down Drake because checking down Drake is something that you would that's your goal. Kanye, let me break it down this to you. Even though you're trying to check down Drake is winning. So you're doing a very bad job. All 20 y'all, whatever, how many y'all in that studio, y'all doing a very terrible job of checking out Drake because that nigga is winning.
Dog,
He's
all of y'all look like peons and Cybermen, and I need everybody to move. Like Ross, he calls you when he want to cook everybody in the verse. You can't rap with him or talk money with him. This whole money thing makes no sense to me. His house is called the Embassy. I don't talk money with a nigga that got a house called the Embassy. It's not a mansion. It's not the house down the block. It's called the Embassy. I don't even
embassy.
know what that means. Yo, fam, move. Ross is just move. Uh, Rocky, I hit your girl first. Even if it's not true, I hit your girl first. Move. Uh, can Future he can't write with me, and I already told you to go play some drums. Everybody need to move, clear out. This is a ISO. I'm worried about Kendrick Lamar. I'm worried about size 7. I'm worried about the tiny giant. I'm worried about that nigga. I'm not worried about nobody else. And I need all of y'all to understand that and move the fuck out the way. Y'all ruining the rap beef. Move, man. Then all of a sudden Kendrick not gonna respond and we never gonna get the battle. Like I said, he needs to be pressured into responding.
Oh no, he
I don't
did
want to
it.
hear none of this.
Did he not get pressured? He said, "Bro, you nah, you." He's like,
Get your ass back. Nah, you
"Ah,
not this time.
yeah,
You're coming right here.
and
We're gonna see each other.
he's like, no, you act like you don't have a bet. You are not in a beef, nah, buddy. Not
Yeah,
this time.
no, you're not about to play these games. Taylor
Oops.
Swift and
Yep.
Top Dog. Yo, move.
Oof.
I need
Uh-uh.
you right here. ISO right here.
So
I need
so
you.
so I want to let people know. Y'all doing it. Then Jaru. I don't know why Jaru is still talking. Jaru said, "Oh, I can relate to Drake. Because the 20v1." Jaru, no, you can't relate to Drake.
After Dave Chappelle said, "What does Ja Rule think at a time like this?" is the last time I thought of Ja Rule. Ja Rule, move, man.
bro.
Everybody needs to move.
Bro, Jaru said
Like,
this. What Jaru said. Oh, he's like, man. He's like, oh, he said, Infinity is like the industry war. I can relate to Drake because 20v1. That's what they did to me, nigga. It wasn't a 20v1.
it
Technically,
was one
yes,
man.
it was one man who took you down. Unfortunately for you, you included the other people, so the other people got involved. They didn't like volunteer to get involved. You included them in the beef
Ja Rule, that one man has put hands and feet on you in
for
every
years,
area for
bro.
years.
Bro,
That
he
is one man.
that
Nobody else. It's
bro.
one man.
The reason why your career went to shit is just because of 50 Cent. Let's
One
be
bulletproof vest, bro.
one billable vest. I understand you believe, people in the comments was like, what about Buster Rhymes, DMX? Man, those were just unfortunate for Jaru. He found himself involving them in the beef. They didn't start the beef. The beef was already started. You include, like 50 Cent said, technically speaking, 50 Cent was part of this beef before 50 Cent signed with Eminem. Ja
And you
Rule,
included Eminem, and
you
Eminem had to tell you.
uh,
And you included Dr. Dre, and
yeah,
he had to tell
yeah,
you.
to
You
tell you.
included a lot of people that don't need to be speaking to you, and that's why you got cooked.
Then you feel somehow you pissed off Buster Rhymes. Buster Rhymes said, "Okay, since you pissed me off, I'm just gonna go release a song with 50." You pissed DMX by taking his style. DMX said, "I'm releasing a song with 50." Unfortunately, that's not a 20v1. You just included
You
people,
just should have shut the fuck up.
but
That's all you needed to do.
that's the difference. These people started the beef with Drake. Drake was minding his business. He was on tour, and people started. Yeah, released 2 albums.
That verse from Churchill Downs keep getting played on reels. He knew this was happening 2 years early. He was just chilling. He said the niggas that don't like me is linking up with other niggas that don't fuck with me to act like they don't fuck with me. He said this 2 years before all the shit happened.
And
That's
freaking
why at the end of push-ups he said, "Yo, bro, that this song isn't the start of this. We knew this was coming. So come outside." And now he want to act like he don't want to come outside. No, he out there in Brooklyn somewhere. Go find that little man. Go
he said
find him.
he said you better since you're not coming outside yet, you better come with a contribute something that we don't understand.
Exactly. Do all the mental gymnastics. I better be doing backflips. I better hear the best thing ever written. You better have him ready to jump off the roof.
Yeah.
Shout out the shout out the Lux. He better be ready to Drake gotta jump off the roof. Alright, I don't wanna hear nothing from you unless
Yeah,
it's fire.
you better bring the gray
Yo,
hood. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand people. I think if y'all watch, I need y'all to go watch, follow me on Instagram, on YouTube, or LESKUZZY, because I did a reaction to this, to the district, right? And I think I said this best. I understand it's a 20v1, but that 20v1, this thing is there's a common denominator with the battle that the next beef that we about to talk about. The two people in this beef that look like they're winning, I want y'all to know the common denominator. They are included. They are intertwined with better rap culture. Drake is in the better rap culture. He knows what happens in better rap. Dr- uh, Chris Brown was there's a battle, two battles that was hosted by Chris
right in
Brown.
front of his
ha-
face.
It
Right in
in
front of
his
his
house,
face.
in not even in his face, in his house, literally backyard on his house. So technically, the two niggas that y'all going at, the two niggas that look like are winning these battles, they are in battle rap. We as battle rap fans, we kind of say, hey man, they're like our cousins. They're not better rappers, but they are our cousins. They know what's happening. They know what to do.
It's
So
funny
we,
that it's the light skins. It's the light
yeah.
skins and Absol that support battle rap. That's the industry people that support battle rap. I mean, you got King Los and the
Oh
writer
yeah,
niggas,
King Law
but other
said
than that, like,
King
come on.
Law said, y'all better not even include the other. He's like, don't, please don't start this shit. He's like, if one of y'all niggas in the 20v1 trying to include me in this, I'm Team Drake. I'm jumping with Drake. We about to start whooping your ass.
And y'all lose it. That's the funny part. It's a 20v1
They
and
want and
y'all
y'all
are
losing.
losing.
Y'all released two albums. Two goddamn albums. I don't know how many songs in those albums y'all have. I think 20 something songs. And y'all niggas are losing. What are y'all doing? Did y'all have any? Please don't say y'all releasing a third album, because if y'all release a third album, that means you guys are losing so bad that y'all releasing three albums and two albums didn't get it done. Maybe the third is a charm. If that doesn't work, I think all of y'all need to pick it up. Pick it
Hey,
up.
Joe Budden made a better hit on y'all's second album than y'all did. Hey, Canadian Super Freak is that shit fire. I'm not gonna lie.
And the funny part, Joe
Hey,
Budden, if you listen to Joe Budden's podcast, he's like, yo, y'all niggas need to start doing something to this nigga. This nigga is whooping your ass.
yo, he is cooking y'all, yo.
This nigga said, nah, nah. He's like, nah, yeah. He said, first of all, y'all listen to Telemate. He said, all of y'all gonna get, don't worry. I'm not letting y'all off the hook. Tell y'all mans to respond. When you respond, then I'll release another diss track. Technically speaking, Drake can say, I got one tag that's already ready to go. But y'all mans is delaying the inevitable. Tell him to release it. I need somebody to find. First of all, how did Kendrick start living in New York? Because I'm still trying to figure
All
it
of a
out.
sudden, he somehow got from Cali to New York in minutes. My man
Like,
was doing pull-ups with homeless people. Somebody told me something.
how?
Did he go to
Because
Lux to get the writing ability? Did
I'm
he
because
call Lux like, yo, Lux, I really need you, bro? Like, what
because that-
happened?
because
What happened?
how does Drake know he has an apartment in New York? I believe Kendrick was in Cali. What? How does he have he lives in New York? Why is he in New York?
The
I thought
video's been coming out though. I seen a video. He was doing pull-ups with homeless people. Dead serious. I
Like,
didn't make that up. Like he really is
why?
doing pull-ups on homeless people.
Why are you in New York? I'm trying to I'm still confused. Now let's talk about another one, man.
This nigga never
Uh,
did that in LA though. I find that funny. I find that real funny.
Now let's talk another beef, man. Beef, man. Them light skin niggas were crazy into 420, man. So we
He
got
ended the beat before it started. I ain't gonna lie. I don't care what he responds with.
Quavo and Chris Brown.
Yep.
So people, now let's give you a timeline. I think last week gave you a timeline of how this beef with Drake and everybody started. Now we're gonna try and do the same thing with
This beef
Quavo.
is from like 2012. This is like old
2012
fish that you gotta microwave. Yeah.
is it's 2012. I thought it was like
If
2020.
if anyone remembers when the BET Awards when they about to jump on Joe Button, that was probably 2014, 15.
Mm,
Maybe it was 16. Maybe somewhere around there.
uh huh.
But that was the same BET Awards where the Migos was about to get into a fight in the parking lot with Chris Brown. That's
Oh,
the same BET Awards. So
oh.
this beef is overdue. This is
So
rotten, corny. It's like blue
because
cheese.
I remember me, I thought it was like 2021
No,
because
way older than that.
no, I'm saying I don't like the beat. I'm not talking about the Migos. I'm talking Quavo and
Quavo
you
and
know
Chris himself.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Well, yeah. That would be
yes,
current. That would be more
because
current.
I think Offset said him and Chris they like squashed the beef, but I know Quavo. I thought it was 2021 because I think 2020 when they did the TSC basketball where celebrities have like their own basketball league. Chris won 2 years in a row and called out Quavo, and I think they were cool. But he was calling him out because people were saying Quavo is the best celebrity basketball player because of the celebrity NBA celebrity games. Right? He said, so I said, Quavo, come here. He's like, come get your ass, Yeah. Then the next year he won again. He's like, Quavo, bring your bitches out here. I said it twice now. All right. Then Quavo
I
started
didn't even
dating.
know that happened either. I don't watch those little celebrity basketball games.
I watched it because it was actually at the time it was actually interesting because then I didn't watch the full after Chris Brown left. I didn't watch it. Then I watched it when him and Holla's team that was supposed to be Nick Cannon's team, but it's technically it was him and Holla and his friends who just came there and just used Nick Cannon as the name, right? So what happened was Chris Brown won the championship the first year, the very first year of the league, right? The TLC,
Hmm.
right? He won, and on they asked him who does he want to join the league, like which celebrity does he want to come with the team to the league, and he calls out Quavo. He said, Quavo, come here, let's get it done. Bring your bitches here, you know. He didn't call him bitches the first time. He said, bring Quavo, come here. Then he went back to back. He won the following year, 2 years in a row. And they asked him again, who does he want? And he said, this is the second time. It's like, Quavo, bring your bitches out here. I'm singing for the second time now. Bring your bitches out here. Right? Then Chris Brown left didn't come with the team the third year. That's when Quavo joined the league.
Hmm.
Chris Brown didn't come, Quavo joined the league. Quavo didn't win the championship. Waka Flocka's team won the championship. Then the next year, him and Holla, da da da. But during that time, I think Chris Brown and I don't know, Quavo started dating Carucci, and Quavo started sending subliminals to Chris, and they started going back and forth about Carucci shit. I don't know what really happened.
Yeah, don't diss me over a girl I don't mess with no more.
Yeah,
He start doing corny shit.
so
Like,
then they started like literally. It was to a point where they literally could not like it was to the max. Like the beef was now real, like a real beef, to where Chris Brown said, "It's on site if I see you." Right? Then Chris Brown went last year. Went to I want to say he went to the Paris Fashion Week, right, or fashion show. right? When they were there, I guess they were assigned seat. So the assigned seat was DDG, Quavo, Chris Brown. DDG was next to Quavo. Quavo was next to Chris Brown. And people was like, wait, we thought they were beefing. And Chris Brown was like, nah, we were forced to sit next to each other. I'm not. I was not. Chris Brown came out and cleared the air. He was like, nah, we are not cool.
Yeah, Chris
We,
will tell you in a second he don't like it,
yeah. He's
which
like,
is
we
funny.
went. He's like, after the thing, the peach, the Kim, the internet took the picture and then, oh, Chris looks like Chris and Quavo squashed the beef. Chris was like, no, that's not the truth. That's the feather from the truth. We were forced to sit next to each other. I'm not cool with that bitch ass nigga. Quavo said a subliminal short in one of his songs. Chris Brown released the album 1111. Really didn't address anything right then earlier this year. I
Well,
think
he gave him like 2 3 shots on the whole album
yeah, but I'm talking
and
he
deluxe.
the deluxe. That's where he finally officially said Quavo's name in a
Hmm.
in a great way play type of way.
She like Casamigos, not the
He
Migos.
goes,
Fuck you
yeah,
talking about?
right. Then he said, some Quavo, like there was another whole line that he said, he's better. It sound Quavo, right? Cool. Then Quavo came out with a diss track. The diss track was called Tender. I didn't listen to the diss track, but they
Didn't hear
said
that one. I heard the other one.
the diss track on Tender was he accused. Uh, he said Chris Brown does drugs, beating on women. That was the topics. That's it. Then 420, Chris Brown released The Weakest Link. Oh man. Chris Chris Brown, you mean. You are the meanest nigga I know. The meanest light skin I know. This nigga is disrespectful to another level.
And it's crazy because Drake will say all that on record. Usually he probably won't beat nobody up, but Chris could probably beat your ass too. He could do a front flip. So listen, hey. Other
Chris
men understand what that means when you say, "Oh, he could do a front flip." Other men understand that. I guarantee boxers understand that. Oh, he could
go
do a backflip. Oh, all right, it's cool.
uh
It's
all
cool.
right, be good.
Yeah,
Chris
that's
decided to say
that's peace.
release and man, I when I was listening to that, I even said Chris, that's disrespectful because he said yo Quavo is a bitch ass nigga with dreads. I'm like, hey, yeah, yeah,
No, that's crazy.
I'm like, hold on, Chris. Not every dreadhead is supposed to be bitch ass niggas, man. Calm down.
I
I
gotta cut
I,
my
I had
dread.
to you see I said I have to hide my dress too. I'm like, God damn, Chris, come down. He
I
said,
gotta hide
man,
my dreads in the hat, just like niggas used to tuck their chain.
yeah, I need to hide my dreads in the hoodie. I don't have dreads for like this video. Don't act like I don't have dreads. He said, man, I don't care if you mess my ex. This is where I lost it. He said, I don't care if you F my ex. I effed your ex when while she was still with you. I'm like, Chris. I'm like, Quavo, you gotta do something. Listen, I'm giving y'all how because I reacted to this live on my YouTube channel, right? No, on the reaction channel. I said, God damn. I was like, yo, Quavo, I think you need to fight this nigga. Then I was like, hold on, time out.
It gotta be a mix. It can't be. Please, no violence, no guns.
Yeah.
But y'all gotta step outside for like a cool 3 minutes.
Then I know this is what I said. I was like, look, right? When he said that, I was like, oh, I was like, Quavo, you gotta fight this nigga. Then I was like, wait, time out. I don't think you need to fight him. I've seen what Chris does when he fights. Nah, I think that's not a good idea either. Then I,
And what's worse about the line is that is actually true.
oh yeah,
Many people might have selective memory, but that is true.
man. At first I thought it was like, oh man. Well, I said, wait, I don't know if it's true or not. Then I was like, I see, Sweetie and Chris at a UCLA game, as a USC game. I said, hey, maybe that's when it happened. But I was like, I would say, I said, I don't know. That's how I stood at that. I said, I don't know, right? I said, okay, you don't need to fight him. Then the song came going. The part that I said, okay, now I said, Quavo, you gotta fight this nigga. He said, bro, RP Takeoff. He was the realest. When we heard, he's like, how? He's like, you know what's crazy? He's like, when we heard that he died, we everybody thought it was supposed to be you instead. I was like, "Ew." I went and got the boxing gloves that I have in there. I said, Quavo, you need this. You need to box him. You need to do something. I said, the one thing you should not do, release a diss track back. Mm-mm. Don't release a diss track back. You need to release a boxing match. Say me and Chris Brown are fighting. You need to do something because he said, bro, that was respectful, disrespectful. At the same time, I've never had somebody be respectful and
Like
also
from now on for the next 20 years until it's like, all right, bro, we're too old. Like it's on site. It's on site.
bro, he said, bro, RP Takeoff. When we heard that he died, we thought we wanted you to be the one who died, not Takeoff. I'm like, God damn. He said, bro, he said, don't talk about smoking drugs. The only pack I'm smoking is you. He's like, your last album is some weed trade that we roll up in. I'm like, God damn, that's disrespectful. I said, I don't listen to Quavo, but I don't know much about his last album. But you saying it's a roll up, it's a weed tray? Okay, I'm like, that's disrespectful to a team. Then Quavo decided to release a diss track. Quavo, first of all, your district, number one, why did you have Takeoff?
Wait. This is where I'm gonna shoot him some bail. Uh, I know you call cooking, but I actually like it. I actually like it. I don't
What?
think it's enough, but I like the track
Nah,
itself.
nah, no, no, wait, hold on, come on
And
now.
him including
Nah, nah, come on now.
Takeoff isn't that bad. It's not
It's
that bad.
not bad, but technically speaking, you gotta prove freaking Chris Point's point. It's like Metro Boomin making some beats.
It's an unfinished song that they didn't complete, and I guess he liked that beat and said, you know what, fuck it, this is gonna be directed towards you, and because that was the hook. That was the hook. All he did was say the hook. I thought it was
God,
AI. I thought it was an AI verse, but nah,
nah,
that sounded
but
like an old song.
I rather him not. I rather him take off because I go like that didn't do shit. That didn't even hit nobody. He didn't even graze Chris. I'm like, bro, you just said what you said the previous district, but what's the point?
Yeah, you still saying the same thing. I beat
But
women.
yeah, but you said the
It's the
same shit,
same. It's the same stuff.
bro. Come on now. I was like, bro. Then you said, oh, I can. That's the part that made the district worse, right? Because you said you're gonna take another, and if you may make another sweetie, then guess what? Sweetie decided to do.
Oh yeah, they did the yeah they did the science. They did the
Sweetie.
science.
So Sweetie decided to tweet back and put out a screenshot.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, let's hopefully the next sweetie I want to see the next sweetie because you still in my DMs. Understandably. Now it's months later, but Sweetie did that screenshot at January 14th. Now I want to say when that screenshot was not open, the DM was not open. But the following day or 2 days after that, that's when we saw Chris Brown and Sweetie. I'm just saying. So as I saw, Sweetie literally shut down the rumors of kind of called cap on you know on Quavo, saying she can make another me, but she didn't shut down the what Chris said. So I'm like, okay, now Chris, whatever Chris said was true. Whatever Chris said was true because why he didn't say nothing? The only thing you said was "Woo Child" when Chris said what he said. So that means he's telling the truth. I'm like, I was like, Quavo, you can't do shit now. You can't do shit because Chris said he knows some shit that he would never say. But if you say so, if you had a better district, I think Chris would have released the shit that he knows. And I'm like, I don't want to know. No. Unfortunately for Quavo, you dug your own grave. You dug your own grave. I don't know what you. I don't know what you're gonna do. You got the crazy part. You got beat by a rap by R&B nigga. That's
Got
that,
beat by a singing nigga, and
bro.
literally, it's a singing nigga. Like it's not like Drake just saying it. Like no, it's really a singing nigga.
Sing nigga, and he
That's
out
crazy.
rapped you. God damn.
Yeah, his
Cra-
rap. Yeah, Quavo. He tried. He did his thing. I like the track,
I,
but it wasn't enough, bro. It's not enough. I hope y'all did this beef though. Honestly, I don't think people care enough, and y'all saying these hurtful things, and it's clearly
the,
real. Y'all two gotta relax. I think Drake and Kendrick is more of an
my,
industry thing, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So
Hey, yes, yo, Kendrick, we need you to release. I need you to release some music, man. It's Friday. Come on now. You gotta release something now. You can't wait 2 weeks now. Come on now.
we'll see. We'll see. Today
Nah,
is
because
Thursday. We'll see.
come on now. And you need to release something. Come on. We
Tomorrow we'll
time
see.
time is ticking. Because I believe Drake is telling you if he don't release, Drake is gonna make sure he release another I believe Drake is releasing another, telling you to release another one. He's gonna put some pressure. Drake is putting pressure. He already put pressure on you, because if you don't release, that means you're scared of Drake. I'm just saying, Drake already put some pressure on you. He told you we are waiting. Come on, buddy, we are waiting. Come outside, Kendrick. Nah, buddy. He say, nah, you gonna. I know what you're doing. Drake said, nah. You know it this time, motherfucker. Uh, but now let's talk about the NBA playoffs, man. Uh,
Playoffs, man. The Sixers letting me down. But
how?
they're playing. They play good though. They did make adjustments. Uh,
Okay.
in
Now,
that second
so
game.
so now, people, I want to let y'all know I have a superstition, right? And I think I told Vinegar about my superstition. Uh, for the rest of the this series, I'm not watching any Sixers game. I'm not watching no Sixers games. I'm not trying to watch no Sixers games, because I watched game one and we played terrible. And I think every time I watch a Sixers game, somehow they play terrible. So my superstition is I don't watch Sixers game until they make it to the second round. That's how I believe that's how I'm gonna do it. Until we make it to the second round, I'm not watching any Sixers games. That's how I'm gonna do there. I think that's fair, right? Yeah. So for the rest of this series, I'm not watching. So hopefully we come back from this 2-0. We playing Thursday as we're speaking today. We are recording on a Thursday, so we playing tonight. The NFL draft is tonight. And tomorrow. Well, tonight and tonight, if you're watching this, so that means y'all gonna. I might do a stream for day two of the NFL draft. Uh, I don't know. Now let's talk about the NFL draft, because I want to know, like, yo, what are you? What do you? All right, what are you expecting?
From the draft.
Yeah. Uh,
It looks like a lot of quarterbacks. I
yeah.
honestly don't think the league needs quarterbacks, so I don't know why everyone's so hype about the quarterbacks and putting them top
Because
10
I'm
and everything.
more technical speak. It's not
I
a
don't think
lot.
anybody really needs any. Like,
No,
I
they do.
mean, besides the Bears and like Arizona, but
The Bears. I think the Bears need a quarterback. The
Arizona
Washington.
still got Kyler.
No,
Like,
it's the Bears, Washington, Patriots, Vikings,
Patriots
uh,
definitely need one for sure.
the Raiders. They need a quarterback. The Broncos need a quarterback. Well, take out they got Zach Wilson, so I don't think they're gonna draft a quarterback. The trade for Zach Wilson. I don't know what's happening over there. But then what else? I'm this
I don't know.
is
I feel like it's just
this
not nobody
this
really
year
hit.
is a quarterback and wide receiver deep. Is a quarterback high draft. A high uh draft, but also wide receivers deep. But
Hmm.
now this is what I want to say, right? Because I'm here. I want to say most of these teams are gonna draft, but I believe some of these teams, the ones that don't get a quarterback this year and they have like those suspect quarterbacks, they're gonna draft. If next year comes, because I hear, people are saying next year doesn't have a quarterback thing. Let's talk about it. Next year's draft, it is Shadow, and I think, and what, Cousin back from Georgia. If I'm be honest, I think Shadow is the number one quarterback, so he's gonna be like the number one quarterback off the board and probably the number one pick because he's the most polished player out of everybody coming out next year, except for Quinn Ewers, who has more success. But is Joe? But when I watch Quinn Ewers, it's like I believe people are saying Carson Beck, but I believe next year's draft is between the number one quarterback is between Shadow and you know and Quinn Ewers. But this year for the Eagles, I'm gonna lie. At first I said quarterbacks, but I want since we have Hassan Reddick, we traded Hassan Reddick. We got the best pass rusher from the Jets last year. We had 10 sacks. I think if we have an ability to get Tau, the top pass rusher in the draft, like Tau or whatever his name is, I believe we should draft him. He visited with the Eagles for his top 30 visits. Um, a cornerback. If we need if they decide to draft a cornerback, but the Eagles haven't drafted a cornerback in the first round since 2002. We don't need we might need an extra wide receiver, but I believe we can get one a wide receiver three in the second round. Uh, I really much I don't know much about this year's con. This year's draft is great. Now college, but college. Let's talk about college real quick. Football. Komani McLean officially enters the transfer portal. He said on after he went online and did a live saying that he wants to play for a real program, not the one that plays for clicks. So when that happened, people said, "Oh, he's calling out, Colorado." Then people around Colorado came out, not the players, not but some people who are media around Colorado who have been, and some people who were in the meetings and say Komani got every opportunity. He's like he was the only out of all the players that got they were not doing what they were supposed to do. Komani had the open he was given plenty of opportunities. He said some players literally got one chance and that's it. Komani was given an opportunity after opportunity, but he didn't do what he was supposed to do. He's like this told Komani McLean was told we need you to pick it up in the classroom. Didn't go to class. They said then literally is like Coach Prime told Command, I will start you this week, but this is what I need for you. Show up to practice on time, show up to the meetings, study your film. The minimum, at least the minimum hours that are required to watch film. Command didn't do that. Then his former coach came out and say that's Command's character. You gotta force him to do something, but also he's like when he signed with Colorado, he hoped that it would have changed, but he's like his work ethic is terrible. So his high school coaches are saying Komani was that in literally he used to skip class, he used to hide in the bathroom so that he can skip practice. Like that's what his high school coach said. I don't know. I don't. I don't gonna lie. If I understand people are attacking him now, and some people will defend him, but there's too many evidence of him having a terrible work ethic, and I
Yeah,
believe,
nobody's gonna force him in the NFL, so I don't know why
yeah.
he's
So
doing that.
and I understand people saying, "Oh, Coach Prime was just for the flash." Nah, yeah, there's a difference. Coach Prime set the standards. Like if Coach Prime is numerous said, if you tell me this way you want to go, is that I'm gonna hold you to the standard. If you say you want to make it to the league, I'm gonna hold you to the standard of like, okay, this is how you gotta this is what I want from you so that you can make it to the league. I believe Komani, because when I watch Komani, I watch this. The beauty of watching, if you follow Carabaro, Deion Sanders' older son, Deion Sanders Jr., does the media, Will of Media, where he records what happened, some of the practices, right, and puts it out on YouTube so that y'all can see what's happening. When you watch Will of Media, one thing I see from Komani, he has talent. He has talent, right? That's Everybody has talent. He has raw talent, but he doesn't have, what can I say? How can I? He doesn't know how to maximize his talent
Hmm.
because he went against literally a receiver who never played down a down in the game, and that receiver cooked him so bad twice in a row. Then played another receiver who was a walk on, cooked him. The receiver cooked him again, and it's the That's the problem, that he doesn't show that he wants it.
Yeah, and if
If
the
literally,
greatest cornerback
if
to
literally
play
caught,
football can't get you, then come on, bro.
then people say, "Oh, but what about?" It's like, that's I was like, "You're forgetting this." I was like, If Travis Hannah," I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, he might be treating Command like how he treat Travis," but when you hear Coach Prime talk about Travis, literally, Travis Hannah, his work ethic is the difference. It's
Yeah,
literally
Travis
different,
always working.
bro. Travis Hannah literally doesn't do nothing but work out. Literally, Coach Prime said, "Trevor, you gotta kick Trevor's out the field sometimes so that you gotta force him not to be on the field." I believe Command McLean, if you tell him he's an off day, he will take that any day. That's the difference, from what I'm hearing and what people have reported. His character is those he doesn't have a work ethic, and I believe that gotta change. And problem is, I don't know if the problem is his mom. His mom saying, "Oh, we want to go to a program that's favoritism, no favoritism." There's no how you want to go to a
That's
pro,
not favoritism, bro.
bro.
You
I
didn't
understand.
work. You didn't work.
I understand that's your son, but comes sometimes you gotta tell your son, bro, you gotta be a man. I I want to be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If he wants to make it to the league in what 2 years, he gotta switch the attitude.
Yeah,
The
because nobody's
the
gonna force him in
attitude
the NFL, bro.
the attitude
He's gonna
gotta
get cut fast.
the attitude gotta switch. Because I'll be honest, he's gonna be those 5 stars in high school who didn't make it to the league. That's gonna be him, and he has all the talent to be a great corner. He's big, he's fast, and whenever he gets it together, sometimes when you see the flashes, you be like, okay, he's gonna be good. But that's not that's not showing up a lot, because I watched. This is the crazy part. When I watch Well Off Media, I don't watch it all the time. People say, "Oh, you watch Colorado." I don't watch it all the time, but I watch it here and there, like maybe once every 2 months. Right? I just click on it. It might pop up on my recommended, and I just click on it to see what's happening. Right? When I watch that, like it's like when I see kids put in the work, like I'm calling them kids. Some of them they're our age, right? But some of them are younger than us. So I'm saying kids. When I
Hmm.
see like Ned Robinson's son, right? The clip that just went viral. That son, bro, Nate Robinson is dealing with a health issue. That he's in the hospital right now. He's dealing with a health issue. But if you watch him through the clips, he's not playing like his dad is dealing with a health issue. His dad has made way more millions of dollars. But when you see him play on that field on Colorado, he doesn't do like he's dealing with something inside. Literally, Coach Prime, we had to call him aside and ask him how is he doing. And he said, "I'm good." Then Coach Prime said, "Nah, it's me. How you doing?" He said, "I'm good, coach." Like that's how there's a difference.
That's
I
how
saw
somebody that want to work and want to
Yeah,
be
like
there
yeah,
achieve something.
that man would have told, like, you could have said, "Man, coach, can I go be next to my dad? Because we just working for what? we're just working for spring game. Can I go be next to my dad? But that man was like, nah, I'm gonna be working here. They they got other people taking care of him. I can talk to him later. Then you see the walk on who got running back number two. That's why two running backs kind of transferring out. The other one, I'm not really sure if he's transferring, but they're saying he's transferring. Dylan Edwards is transferring. I don't believe that, but because he didn't officially write it down, maybe he did today, but I don't think so. They say expected. And first of all, number one, I want to say this. I stopped when I watch 24/7 sports. Like when they put out the outlets for for everything, I stopped watching them because they sometimes say something and the opposite happens. They're like expected. Like the tackle that signed with Colorado, the freshman, right? When he didn't sign his letter intent letter to Colorado, literally for 2 days, they're like, oh no, he's going to Maryland. He's like, it's officially uh confirmed that he's going to Maryland. He's like, we expect him to sign with Maryland in like 2 days. He's like, they're about to announce it. This nigga was like, nigga, I didn't sign because there was no internet, there was no literally internet to send my shit. It's like I
Mm-hmm.
already signed, but it didn't the shit didn't go through. The internet was messing up, so I needed to. It's like me and he's like I literally had to go with. It's like he sent his internet. He's like then they used because him when he finally got the thing went off, you know, his internet he finally went through. He was already him and he said, "Oh, that's when he went to a trip in Miami with Shadow, and that's how Colorado used it because they used that as you know." And people was like, "Why is Charlotte saying if you're in the transfer and trying to come to Colorado, DM him?" Not every yeah, I know that be some of me I've been sports. There are some people who transfer schools, they will never talk to the coach before they talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
They'll talk to the players first before they talk to the coach. So that's how they do it. But now, now let me. I'll look again if. But so hold on. What is going on? You see? Not. Oh yeah, I need to fix. I have already expected. I'm about to fix my thing. Uh, how did that? Hold on. This shit is happening. So yeah. So people are saying they said Dylan Edwards has entered the transfer portal, but I don't think he really did. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but I don't expect it. Some people gotta you know then the who else the maybe the other two because Colorado signed signed what another running back from from Ohio State. Maybe that's why, but I don't believe that's the thing. Man, well, plus he doesn't put out stuff that he's signing with Colorado, so he didn't put out nothing. So I don't know. Let me see if I go on 24/7 Sports before that, but I don't know. But I don't trust 24/7 Sports. That's the problem. I really don't trust them, so I don't know. Man, what else you got, man?
Other than that, I mean, the fight was electrifying.
Oh
Beef
yeah,
is the only thing that I had on my bingo card. The Sixers upset me, but I still think it's Sixers and six. I think we're gonna win four straight. If not, I still got Sixers and seven until they get cooked. So I got the Sixers winning. I also got the Lakers winning. And it's funny how we both lost in similar fashion. So I really do think we're gonna. I still think my bracket is gonna happen the way it's gonna happen.
Mm,
I got the Pacers beating the Bucks too, because I don't know what happened with Giannis, but apparently he's injured. So, and I don't think Dame can hold off the Pacers. The Pacers are a pretty solid team. Like they
mm.
almost won that in season tournament. So, but yeah, shit is entertaining. Shit is entertaining. Playoffs, bro. Sixers
Damn.
got me fucking
Hold on.
nervous.
So, say, all right. Shout out to Ryan. Ryan made $50 million from that fight alone.
What
And
on
Devin Haney,
endorsements and stuff? Didn't he make like
no,
12?
no. So he bet 20. No, this is
He bet on
from
himself, right?
he bet for himself 2 million, got 12. But this
Mm-hmm.
is from the fight, like
Okay.
the the pay-per-view, the tickets and everything. So he made 50 million. Devin Haney made 35. Because Devin Haney got what 40. Devin Haney split say that the A side was Ryan because Ryan had the higher percentage. He was the A side because he had 55 split to 55 to 45 split. So I don't. That's crazy though. Now wait, hold on. Oh yeah, we didn't announce this. June 8th, 2024, we got Norm 14. Headline Lux versus Ramnidi.
Okay. Okay. It's finally happening.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it. And they both had long breaks, so this is pretty. This you said what June?
Yeah. No.
It's not bad. Not bad. I wonder. I hope that the rest of the card is pretty fire. We've been
Mm.
getting some kind of buns cards from them and nice cards from everybody else, so I hope it's stacked. I mean,
Okay.
it's supposed to be stacked. It's gnome, so I mean, it's supposed to be.
Okay. Now we gotta talk about Keller Williams. You gotta do something. You gotta do something with your hair, man. You should have got a nice haircut like that. And then, man, you just look homeless.
Hmm.
I'm just saying, you look homeless. I'm just, yeah, man. So I'll talk to you guys later, man. If you like this video, drop a like, subscribe if you're new. Listen, if you're listening on any other platforms, we appreciate you, and we see you guys in the next video and episode.
Peace.
Peace.